It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And really, our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. In this episode, we have the one and only Andrea Mason. She's in the building. She'll be talking about how to go from pain to purpose so you can really live the life you deserve. Can't wait to get into that conversation. What's going on, Andrea? How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Jay? How's everything going? Welcome, everyone. It's an honor and privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here, by the way. And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show. So thanks for allowing us to stream into your home during these challenging and remarkable times we're living in the world that we're in right now. Before we get started, you got purpose down. You got pain to purpose. And I'm always curious what folks' definition is of purpose. And so when you say the word purpose, I guess two-part question. Number one, what does purpose mean to you personally? And what does purpose even look like or even feel like these days?
Excellent question. Purpose means to me living your calling, your passion. What is it that you are driven to do that you can do every single moment of the day without getting paid, but filling your heart and filling the hearts of others? That's what purpose means to me, answering your calling.
And one of the things, and then go ahead and answer the second one. What does it look like? What does it feel like for you?
What it feels like to me is meeting individuals now in this two-dimensional world. Although we don't get that energy frequency from a handshake or a touch, we get that energetic vibration through the screen, that passion, that empathy, that excitement, and that emotional connection that we can get now in today's world.
Well said. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll get to her backstory and her bio in a minute. We'll get to that. But she talks about purpose, and you'll see a lot about passion. It's always like about passion to purpose type of situation. Again, this is just semantics. I'm curious. What does passion mean then? I'm just curious. I mean, what's the difference between, what does passion mean? And kind of, if you had to separate the two between passion and purpose, are they both the same thing? Or to you, they're two different pieces to go into it?
Yes. Purpose is taking the action strategical steps in achieving what your intention is with attention. What does it mean to carry out your legacy, carry out a methodology that you have, or just bringing to the table your skill sets? Passion is doing it with authenticity and integrity, but the love of it, that you can talk about it, you can live it, you can feel it, and you can bring it. It's that personal touch of personal experiences that you can't get from any textbook or lecture.
Well, it sounds pretty easy then. Sounds like you just wake up in the morning and you say, I'm passionate about this and let me go do it. Why are folks struggling these days? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an unfair question, but I want her perspective. Why are a number of folks struggling these days to either walk in their purpose or pursue their passion? I guess the question is, what's holding them back? What are some of the challenges that hold them back from being able to do that?
Excellent question, Jay. What happens is in today's society, we are on a competitive street. We're always comparing ourselves to others of that perfection, that immediate instant gratification of success and achievement. And we don't credit ourselves for our self-worth. And what happens is we have those false limiting beliefs, the imposter syndrome, and that if we are happy, just like this show is, then a lot of people have been programmed or influenced that being happy is kind of a guilty emotion. Because I'm happy and somebody else isn't, they kind of feel shameful of it. And you don't want that pain to go to somebody else. You don't want to burden somebody else. You don't want to feel like you're better than anyone else. So when we look through the eyes of passion and look through why this is difficult for individuals, is they need to start their day and end their day with gratitude attitude. They focus on the positives that happen in their lives and the lesson and losses we can learn from. And so we have to break the stigmatism and break the mindset that it's not okay to be happy. It is. Because be infectious with happiness rather than toxic with misery and hate. And if we shift that mindset to a mannerism of purpose and passion, purpose, I'm here to show up, never give up, and give you my 100% best. And my passion is I love you unconditionally. I understand where you came from. I'm ready to learn and grow with you. And those are the mechanisms that helps you live a successful life. Back to you.
I love it. They're hearing it. It's making sense to a number of folks. I'm shaking my head and saying, yeah, never. It's something that we've got to make sure that we do. Now they're curious, who are you? Like, I like this person. I mean, I didn't get a chance to read their bio. Got it. I like what they're saying, making sense. Get it. But who is this person? What's her backstory? You know the question, what's your backstory? And then what was that defining moment that led you on the path that you're on now?
Yes. So I'm Andrea Mason, your global voice, your first choice. I'm an alumna of Les Brown. I'm a CEO of Press Play, Plan Life According to You LLC, where I meet people where they're at and walk beside them in achieving personal freedom through the healing power of forgiveness and have them go from victim to victorious. In today's day and age, it's so difficult. We are victims of our own mindset or victims of society. And what happens is we get trapped, we get stuck. We don't have the opportunity to see outside of themselves. And so my pivotal moment that walked this path less traveled, this life transformational journey, was when I was abused and bullied every stage of my life. I was the masteress of failure. I failed at everything, relationships, elementary school, all realms of school learning, as well as in my career. Why? Because I didn't define who I was. I didn't have that self-awareness and clarity of who I was. I was an adoptee from Colombia, from South America, from during the cartel. I came to America with the angelic numbers of 1111 into America, into unconditional loving arms of my parents of Italian and Irish descent. But that pivot moment shook when they said, you don't look like your parents. If your parents didn't want you, how could you love? I turned my life of vengeance into a life of victory, went into social work and psychology, obtained my degrees, and paying it forward to change, to be the face of change of mental health for others.
Incredible story. Thanks for being so authentic with us. Pain to purpose. If you had to step back and share, I don't know, 3 steps that someone who's listening and what they could do to walk there and get there, what are maybe 3 things or 4 things, I don't know, 5 things, what would you suggest to the person that's leaning forward right now and says, Shay, I showed up for this moment and I'm on that path. How can I get there? And what should I do? What would you say to them?
Absolutely. Step 1, remember who you are. You're here for a reason and a purpose. We all have a fingerprint, which makes us authentic, which makes us unique. When we get to the root cause of who we are, then we establish our self-discovery. Step 2, when we're going through pain, ask ourselves, is it helpful or hurtful? Remember, to achieve personal freedom through the healing power of forgiveness is to set not only the prisoner free, as Lewis B. Smead says, is us, but also forgive their others. Number 3, get to the root cause. Why is this painful? What is the purpose? What is the lesson of it? Why is this so painful here and now? Is it a recurring message that I haven't faced my past and it continues to chase me? Or is it hurting right now because I haven't opened up that emotion and allowed myself to be vulnerable? And finally, the last one is to have patience. Patience and passion go hand in hand through the healing process, through the growth process. And remember, it's not on our watch, it's on our belief system. But with perseverance, progress, and taking constant action, there's no such thing as perfection, just steps towards progression.
I love it, by the way. Spot on. And what do you say to the person that says, I like what I heard, but I have a problem? And one of the problems they may have, and maybe I'm the only one, or maybe someone can relate to this, they're like, sometimes I feel like if I go after what I need to go after, I'm letting other people down. Let me frame that for you and give you the question. How does someone pursue their purpose and passion without feeling guilty? Someone's watching right now, and a lot of our audience are dualpreneurs. They're saying, Shay, we let her know that I work a full-time job and I'm pursuing my career full-time, my business full-time. Can you also let her know that I'm a mom, or I'm a father, or I'm a husband, or I'm a wife, or somebody out there is like Shay Brown. I always like to say they're a caregiver, and they're like, look, I've got people dependent on me. that I've got to take care of. And if I slow down and try to do something over here, I'm letting something else go down. So the question I really have, someone else can share, I'm involved in my church, in my community. I got a long list for her to know. Just ask her the question, how does someone pursue their purpose and passion without feeling guilty when other people are dependent on them? Does that make sense to you? What would you say to that person?
Question. Yes, I'll give it in 3-point fold. Number one, your health isn't your number one asset. That's what I tell people I work with. Without your health, you're not here. I'm a living testimony of that. Quick short story for that. I was fighting for my life almost just shy of a decade after my mother had passed. Why? Because I was putting others first. I was pouring into others from an empty vessel. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not 100%. You're not here to help others. Just like that analogy on the airplane. Put your mask on first before helping others. That's number one. Number two, all you need, as Shay had mentioned in the beginning, steps, baby steps. Let's start on setting up an hour a day for yourself. What does that look like? Y'all binge watch, y'all scroll in social media. Put that timer on, put that device aside, and take an hour and tap into you. And finally, number three, you may not be for everybody. Sometimes we think we're empowering when we're really enabling. Allow other people to be empowered themselves, to do it themselves, and support them every step of the way. I walk beside those, everybody I connect with. Why? Because I'm not here to lead them outside their comfort zone. I'm not here to guide, to push them away and force them to do something else. I meet them where they're at. We work together. I walk side by side as they achieve their goals and support them. Back to you.
Yeah, amazing. And as you were speaking there, it led me down a path, and maybe we can talk about this, that you have this whole concept around this idea of press play in order to move forward in your life. Take a moment, because the audience is hearing it for the first time. They might be, Shay, what in the LL Cool J are you talking about? I mean, press play, what is that even about? But she has this whole thing about press play, and you can plan your life in a certain way. So I'll slow down, because I want you to express it to the audience. But when I saw it, I was like, whoa, great concept. So press play so you can plan your life. What's the backstory, if you can do that? And then what is it? Yeah. Do you mind if we get a sneak preview of that? I mean, can you share that with the audience? Okay, yeah. Good. Because I think it's really cool. And I think it's in harmony with this pain to purpose thing as well.
Yes. So as I had mentioned, I was bullied and abused. I was adopted. I didn't look like my parents, and people said, how could you love? So my escapes was I started playing the piano at age of 4, and I started playing soccer in Europe, football. And what I was doing was I finding my inner child of innocence and having fun. I was playing. I wasn't worrying about society and anything that was stressing me. I was focused into my actions. And so music is the universal language of love. I started playing the piano. It would allow me to escape and really ride that emotion in a healthy and sustainable way. Play soccer. I learned how to lose. I learned how to be a leader. I learned how to be a team player. And so when I was developing it, when we want to hear a good song, we press play. When we watch a good movie, we want to press play. So why not press play on you? Plan life according to you. I was a victim and guilty of being a people pleaser. I was always helping everybody else and making sure everybody was on tack, but I wasn't servicing myself first. And in order to have self-awareness and self-discovery, you have to know who you are when you show up, and make sure that you're portraying the persona you want to be, your authentic self. And so when I would press play, I would always realize that I'm living my life on my terms. Some other people can tell you how to do it. Some people can advise. Some people can lecture. Some people can train. But it's not cookie cutter. When you have one life, you can either say day one or one day. And it's according to you to live on your terms, because you are the only one that can make you happy. And you have a chance and choice every day to choose to press play. Back to you.
Amazing. I just love it when you break it down for us like that. Thank you so much, by the way. You know, it's a great segue to a segment that we have here called Today is my January 1st. Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what we're about to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words. Today is my January 1st. Doesn't that feel so good? And for everyone else, you're joining for the very first time. You're like, Shay, I'll tell you what it is. Today is our January 1st, is our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is or how bright and sunny that past is, the past no longer equals the future. And so my question for the one and only Andrea on the other side is really twofold. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what goes through your mind? And number two, when was another moment that there was a challenge where things weren't going the way they should be, and how did you bounce back from it?
Excellent question. So my January 1st, today is my January 1st, was February 21st, 2016. I had mentioned earlier on, I had suppressed all of my emotions when my mother had passed. And I didn't realize it then, but I had a laundry list of autoimmune conditions, only to realize they were self-induced. Stress is the number one killer, if not the silent one. So when you dismiss your emotions, your anxiety and your immune system weakens. I remember going into work and all of a sudden I didn't feel well, went to the hospital, checked me out, said, all right, maybe it was just a panic attack or something was off. We'll send you back home. Less than 24 hours, that next morning I got a call and they said, Andrea, I need you to come in. I said, no, I'm good. I got to go, doctor. I'm fine. Everything's good. There was an oversight. You have stage 5 myasthenia gravis. Come into the hospital immediately. Didn't think anything of it, drove to the hospital on my own free will. As soon as the doctor repeated again and told me what it was, next thing you know, Che, I woke up in the ICU unit, unable to use all 4 of my limbs, breathe, walk, talk, and eat. This is what happens when you don't take care of yourself. So that pitiful moment, the late, great Bob Proctor, I was unplugged since 2015, which means not watching the routines of media or anything. Everything was chosen by me, what I was watching, eating, and seeing. And he said, dis-ease cannot withstand a healthy emotional mindset. And I got a call from my family member, Andrea, you need to come home. This is not the life you lead. And at that moment, I shifted my mindset, which I call in my line of work, change my channel. And wouldn't you know it, the next day, I was able to consume meals, breathe on my own free will, have complete functioning of all my limbs and my body, and I was able to get discharged. And from February 22nd, 2016, today, I have a clean bill of health, only to realize it's not what matters in your mind that matters. It's what matters is in your mind that matters most. Your mind is your powerful muscle. Make sure it's in alignment with your body, soul, and heart. The second time that I, as you had mentioned, was another pivotal moment was when I realized that you're not going to be for everyone. Everyone's not going to like you, and that's okay. But someone's listening, someone's watching. Anything that you've gone through gives you the right and permission to help others achieve it too. I learned this by thinking I can heal everyone and help everyone. And although I was focusing on being the healer, I was also getting distracted by the naysayers and non-believers. We're all intrigued and influenced by the likes and dislikes, the comments, subscriptions, and desires. Focus on those who support you. They are going to be there, for they are the ones that remember and follow you on your message and mission. Don't let go and don't be afraid to be yourself and be who you are, because once you change that, then you're just settling for less. Back to you.
I appreciate your transparency, by the way. Thanks for sharing that. Your health is certainly very important. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself, by the way. So thank you for sharing. One of the questions I like to ask when we have time, and we have a few minutes now, hopefully, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given. I like to frame it for the audience that you've had so many mentors along this journey. You mentioned the late Bob Proctor. I know you mentioned Les Brown, and you had a lot of mentors. Who knows how many? You've also had, I'm sure, read more books than you can even recall these days. I'm not sure if you can recall the books. Watching online video trainings. I mean, I don't know how many hours I've spent. More than 10,000. 10,000 is a joke. You need to rate that to 100,000 hours, by the way.
Right.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's totally disrespectful. But I don't know if you can count the number of hours you watch training videos. So my question was, if you had to boil it down, say, Shay, this is just one of, like I've been given a lot, the best piece of advice that I've been given that I want to share with someone else. What is it and why?
The best advice that I would probably say was when I was studying Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. And that is, be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. Be yourself and don't judge anyone. And as simple as those key components are, Che, is not how we absorb them, but how we apply them every single day. It's important that it's one thing to learn, it's one thing to teach, but it's another thing to apply. Because then you are actually implementing the techniques, tools and strategies that you've learned and embody them. Everybody learns differently. I learn differently from everybody else. But what is important is the legacy that you leave for others, how you made them feel. You know, Maya Angelou says people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's what I want to bring to the table. You're here for a reason. You have a purpose. Always show up. Never give up. Back to you.
Yeah, says so well. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? I can hear the passion coming out. You're walking in your purpose. You're sharing some things that have taken place, and you're so transparent. What are you enjoying most about what you're doing these days?
Well, what I'm doing these days is I'm actually expanding it local. I have begun mentorship and internship programs across the world. And having been gratefully blessed to speak on every continent, just connecting with the youth of up and coming developing countries. Their passion and yearning desire for education and knowledge has really helped me appreciate where I am. And doing those mentorship and internship programs have really elevated my game, that I have a lot to learn from them too. And that regardless of our age, background, or, intellect, that we're constantly growing. So make yourself resourceful, make yourself utilize your skill sets and be available to others so you can enhance the quality of life for those around the world. Back to you.
I like it, by the way. I like it. That is so
Yeah.
cool. And you talked about your mentoring folks. And, when someone is thinking, hey, I like what I'm hearing from her, when she looks for someone to be a mentor to her, what does she look for? Because someone might be looking to you to be a mentor. What are maybe 1, 2, or 3 characteristics you look for when you're looking for somebody to mentor you?
Well, I want to bring it back old school, Jay. I want people to be imaginative, innovative, and creative, because that's the essence that you can't get from textbooks. When somebody, it's kind of like the Montessori teaching. When somebody loves what they do, they're going to find so many different ways to do that. And that's what I've learned from the mentees and interns that I've had. They're so passionate about it, but they bring an extra sense of energy and experience to life when they are learning. And what would be in exchange for that would be the coaching techniques that I would be able to, the ability to partake or support or even attend some of the events that I'm doing, to be either in the audience or as, an apprentice. So that's really good. All in all, win for both of us.
Kind of cool stuff. We're not out saving the world. We're not out people move their purpose to passion. We're not out hitting the power play button and playing football. And I'm joking, soccer and other things. What do you do for fun these days? What's like just fun for you? What do you do to relax and kick back?
I love dancing. You will find me, I will be the last one on the dance floor, even after the DJ or the band goes off, because I love dancing. It's just a release of free energy. and positivity, whether it's from classical to hip hop to reggae to soca, you name it, I'm on the dance floor. And that's what keeps me going, music, because it's really, you're able to escape and identify with either the artist or the rhythm at that moment in time. It really takes it to a new place.
I love it. The music's on the inside, not the outside. I love it. You said long after the DJ's finished, you still dancing. They got me wondering, what's going on? That's not the drinks. That's just the music inside of you, which is
No,
really
absolutely.
amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it, which is cool. As we come down the home stretch, a two-part question. Number one, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any? I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any clients, but if they are, we'd like to know what type of clients. And number two, how can folks best connect with you? Like, how can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have now?
Excellent. So the type of caseload that I like working with is individuals who are stuck and ready to launch their level of success and enhance their quality to life to the next level, whether that's business, corporate, entrepreneurship, relationship, or really tapping into their own. It's just animated individuals who are saying, you know what? I'm tired of this mundane hamster wheel. I know I deserve more. I could do more. I could be more. How do I get started? And that's where we connect and we create a path less traveled that you've never explored and achieve your goals and dreams. That's what I'm looking for.
And did you give the website? Did I miss that? You give the website on how they can connect with you?
No, I was going to do the second part.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah. How can they connect with you? Where can they go if they want to bring you in to work with their team? Like, how can they connect with you? Yes.
Yes. So they can reach me at www.andreamasons.com. And you can email me at am.pressplay@yahoo.com and just put happy entrepreneurship. You know what? Just put happy. It'll be easier because I know some of you don't like typing. So I know where you came from, and I'll set you up with a discovery call where we can really tap into what are you looking for? How are you ready to grow? And let's go and press play. Thank you.
Let me say thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I know you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And you're giving us the most precious resource you have, which is your time. So thank you so much. Can't wait to have you back again soon.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show, by the way. So I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on, no matter what you're going through, that whether you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming, or you're on to the next level of your life, here's what I believe. I believe that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name hasn't changed. It's still Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. We out, everybody. Peace. See you on the other side. Thanks, Andrea. We gone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.